My name is Hinchy, and over the past 5 years, I've been doing something incredibly crazy. I've been building a brand new trading card game for people to enjoy. The game is heavily inspired by ancient China with different flares of flavor. A game where every move matters and every card tells a story. The game? Dynasty TCG. This is the story of how it gets made. Every decision, every design, every failure. This isn't $1 million studio making a game. This is me and a relentless drive that refuses to die. Welcome to Concept to Card Dynasty TCG. Welcome back everyone. This week we've got some planning, we have some artwork updates, and we've also got some packaging to deliver some cards. Hope you guys enjoy. Man, the week has just begun and boy am I tired. Yeah, this whole last week, obviously I've got this idea of doing these videos and then I'm planning how to do the videos, but then once you do it, you execute it and you think, well, do I want to do it this way or do it that way? And it's just there's so much going through and there's so much to do. Social media is currently the backbone of all of this. I've got to figure out, I've got to understand my own system and see how I want to play it. But it is currently very tiring, and realistically I probably have to record what I need to record and put it all together. One of the ideas was to actually record, let's say a segment where I'm doing reviewing artwork and only making that a video. But I feel that might not be engaging enough. And of course, because I do a weekly recap at the end now, if I only show one video, then it's well, the recap doesn't have as much footing. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna record and see how things go as time goes on, because I don't know how it's gonna go, and I just hope you guys enjoy watching all this behind the scenes content of doing stuff, because that is very important. Honestly, it's always daunting trying something new on social media. When you're used to going through one process to get a certain result and then you think, do you know what, I'm going to change it to try and get a different result. That's what I'm doing right now, and I never know what's going to be correct, so it's always a bit of a gamble. Because I'm having a more structured type of path in the way that I'm doing things now, to try and give myself some mental free time on the weekends, even though it normally isn't, because I'm still either editing a video or I'm making another video. It's figuring out this new routine and appreciating this new routine and creating this new routine. And that transition from you doing something every single day, being what you know, to just flipping it 180 degrees to doing something you basically don't know, it's pretty difficult. But I guess the purpose of this segment of the video will be to kind of strategize, because before, I don't really like this. I can record myself strategizing here, because this will basically be the first time I've done it online. Whereas if I did it every single week or every single day, you'll get entirely bored. So I'm gonna enjoy this food and then get to the part where I strategize. 70% of the job is actually just planning, thinking, strategizing, because if you don't do any of that, your execution is going to be terrible. Execution is a tiny fraction to the entire plan and the entire ecosystem that you try and develop, and it is so hard because, again, you're making this path for yourself. You never know if it's going to be good or bad. I think weekly episodes of, you know, a few like different daily things would be better. Okay. Yeah, I think so. I think that'll be better. Honestly, I don't know if it will.
We got a piece of flint and a steel striker. So all I need is a piece of char cloth. This is just an old linen shirt that I charred in a fire. I want to hold it somewhere close to where the sparks are going to go. Just need one of these sparks to hit the char cloth. See, there we go.
Yeah, realistically, I mean, like, last time you would have seen me get the notebook, but also in times like this where you don't really need to write in a notebook because you guys are kind of consuming all the content. Bless me. Now, I can't show you every second of every day, but I can show you some key elements of everything. Because obviously the development, like, there's little bits here and there, but you can't make a good enough video out of that. And you guys would be bored out of your mind just watching a whole video. Imagine watching a half-an-hour video of me literally talking to you guys, or me just planning this. That would be terrible. That would actually be very, very bad. I mean, maybe it'll be entertaining for some people, but that's more like high-level content. Because imagine me actually going deep diving into every little thing. That's not entertaining enough, unless you have that intrinsic desire to want to watch that. But yeah, no, it's just finding those key moments. Like, what's going on this week? I'm definitely recording this. And then the second thing, probably something to do with artwork, because we need an update on that. And then the third thing is probably Friday. I'm actually seeing MJ to go deliver some stuff, so I'll go deliver some stuff to MJ on that. And we'll see what happens. Again, like, the title is making a TCG, but then the making part of it, like me doing all of this, that's already shown you that like 1/3 of it is actually the most important. The rest of it is doing extra stuff to support it. Huh. Interesting. But yeah, it's just figuring out segments and making segments worthwhile enough. But I think once I get the hang of it, it should get better, and it should become more entertaining for you guys to watch. Because literally, you're seeing my struggle period right now. This is actually a very struggling period. But yeah, very excited to see how that goes. But if the plan that I've just told you is the plan that's going to be the case, I would then say on to the next segment of this, which is why we're in my room now. Artwork. I need to review some artwork. Not just review, but also like check the schedule for making everything. Yeah. Because the schedule of making the game relies on time of the artwork and making sure that everything kind of fits in time, because then you finish the artwork, then you make the files, and then you print, and then once you print,
then you get it delivered, and then you sell, and then you get it out to you guys. Yes, ignore my bed hair. And the reason why it's like that is because something crazy happened. I went a bit too hard in terms of not getting enough rest, working on the TCG and exercising, and the prolonged culmination of doing all of that made my central nervous system crash, and I vigorously / violently threw up, and I just went, hence sleeping for about 13 hours now. Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit more paced now. Before, it's kind of like a mental crash out and burnout, but literally yesterday I literally physically and mentally went. So, lesson learned. Yeah, the biggest lesson here is don't try and do everything at 200%, because if you do that you will crash, and if you crash, like literally this week how it's been, it's just recovering after, but then you learn as well. So it's fighting the fact of, do you want to crash and learn, or do you want to just aimlessly feel like you're correct? So lesson learned. Anyways, back to the thing at hand. Artwork. I have been sent over a few bits of artwork that I haven't actually showed anyone online, but I can show you guys. This is some work from Brandon for one of the cards coming up in the next set. So now I've got that piece of artwork, I have to cross-reference it with my list of cards that needs to actually be printed, because what normally happens is I make the list, which I need to get ready, and then I give the work to the artist and they complete the work, and then I tick it off into the list, and then I can kind of see how well the team is doing it in terms of like keeping up with the timeline of everything, and then based on that I can plan like other things that need to get done which aren't related to that but revolve around the timeline of actually doing that. So yeah, I guess I need to just look at that real quick. Yeah, there's a lot more actual functional steps that have to be taken before anything is produced. Like, don't even think about perfection. It's literally, can you even take the steps to get there? And as simple as some people may think, to get the execution more correct, like, it's process. Okay, yeah, this will be easier if I just show you. So one of these is going to be called the Lion's Armored Warrior, which is right here. For those who have now seen this is the list of cards coming out in the October set, but not all of them, because it's only within this frame that you're seeing. For the main set stuff, in terms of this set, and then like non-special cards, that's pretty much the last one, and then like we have a bunch of different skins. In fact, I do have an update on one of the champion skins as well that I can show you guys. So this champion Long Feng here is obviously one of our main battle champions / champions in the game in the upcoming, hopefully, first edition. But to kind of celebrate that, we're making a full art ascendant rare of him, but in a skin. The previous skins that we've had, you guys would have seen. Like, this is the Shen full art for the Mid-Autumn Festival skin. So for Long Feng, what we've actually got is a sketch for you guys to have a look at. Here is the sketch of what it is. It's gonna have a lantern, and it should look very nice with the moon in the background. I am so excited about skins, because skins, it's a way to show off culture that just doesn't affect the game and just gives people something new. You know, if you play, it's just cool because it's like, it's a whole new world that you're creating, but it doesn't affect the main world that you make and it's just the visual aspect, the fact that it can't impact the game but then give you so much joy just through that artwork. I think it's amazing. I'm so excited to do more. So I'm looking at the actual set, because you don't just look at it and take it off, it's not as simple, and I'm seeing about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces of artwork are still yet to be completed in terms of sketch to colour, and that normally takes about a week's time to get that done, depending on how busy the team is at the time. So if we're looking at 11 and you're trying to get, if we push it for maybe 2 a week, then you're looking at 5 weeks to, I mean, we should get one completed, 2 completed this week, so then you look at 9, then the other one should be slightly easier, 1, 2, which we could be completed by the 10th of August, which would be perfect timing, because realistically I also have to create the files, which I should start doing now, but I haven't done it yet, because I've been working on so many other things. Then by the time that that's finished, you could have production start the week after, which would mean that we could get all the cards ready September time, which would be perfect. So we're still in track. Preparation is key. Everything that we basically do, unless it's very like spontaneous, it's pre-prepared, and if it's not pre-prepared and it's spontaneous, then you've already done preparation by learning other skills and other things to kind of back up that scenario. So it's always just constantly building up that foundation to make it stronger and stronger, and that's how we run. Just push with knowledge and wisdom. But because I've been yapping on about how like set stuff, artwork, I bet you guys want to know how I actually do it in terms of directing it from the beginning to middle to end, right? That's worth talking about. That's interesting. So let me give you guys a crash course on how to actually direct and create artwork for a TCG. Firstly, you create the set. This is everything that you will be needing to print. Obviously you have rarity, and then you have like the name of the card. In your head, when you're creating card names, you should already have some form of vision inside of your head for something, you know, for it to be visualized and put onto a piece of artwork. That's the most important part. It's having it in here before execution even begins. So for the sake of this example, let's use Lion's Guard, because that's already a card that's been completed. The next thing is then writing a brief for the artist. Bear in mind, my team have been working for years on this, so we're kind of used to the way that we direct, and they're used to the way that I kind of want an image, because, you know, my direction's pretty like consistent throughout what I want to see, so it's a lot easier to give me briefs. But if you were to do a completely whole new team, then you would have to provide more. But because I've worked so long with mine, I don't need to provide as much information because they already know what's in my head. So something like this would be the brief that I use now, where I just say the name of the card so the artist knows what the name of the card is, and then the kingdom, obviously, that's very specific to design aspect of the characters and stuff, and then colors. That's just a lot easier for me to say rather than saying the exact colors. And then I do a brief character description, just explaining the type of character they are, and then you provide a concept, so then you can see, or the artist can see, what's generally in my head. And then sometimes I'll send a few reference pictures for certain items or objects that they might be holding, so something like this, so then they can see, and it makes their work easier. Like that's the easy bit. The conveying of the stuff over time becomes a lot easier. And then the next part, once you send that off, you get the options of choosing what artwork you want. So here, I get sent 3 options. So this was the 3rd option, this was the 2nd option, and this is the 1st option. Obviously, I chose this one, and you might be thinking, well, a few of these are cooler, why didn't you choose any of these ones? Well, there's a very specific reason. All of these cards can actually be used again. Well, not cards, but these sketches can be used again for different things. But what we were trying to do was make a unit card. So that's meant to showcase the unit by, as itself, and show the theme of the unit. A very important part of choosing the right artwork is choosing the right dynamics and the right form of everything. Because you have many different cards. You have unit cards, you have order cards, you have item cards, and you have structure environments. They are all meant to be framing a piece of artwork in a very specific way. And if you frame it in the wrong way, even if it's like 2 or 3% slightly off, or it goes into a different type of card, then it throws off the kind of flavor and feeling of the actual card. So this one, the angle was slightly higher, so you're looking down onto the guard, and it's quite dynamic in that sense because of the camera angle, and to me, this looks more like a scene, like an order card. This one is actually pretty good. I quite enjoy this one, but it's quite loud. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background here and here. And also, the stance of the character is quite open, and if you have a very open stance for the character, then it doesn't convey that defensive feel. Even though it is a guard, it doesn't have that sort of strength and aura that you would want from a guard, which is why this is more perfect, because it's quite quiet in the background, but you see exactly what's going on for the guard to be standing still. You see a convoy in the background, you see them carrying stuff there, and also you see them standing in a stronger stance. This is a more closed stance, making it more defensive, whereas this is more open, which makes it more offensive. And this gets to show you the shield as well, and the shield is a really, really big indicator that this is a defensive unit, whereas this doesn't show the shield as much. Once you have that, all you have to do is choose the artwork, let the artist know, and then you'll get something in return, which is you get the base layer of color, so you can kind of analyze and make sure that everything looks fine. That's very simple. You either say you're happy with it or you're not, and then you give the direction of, hey, I want this to be darker, or I want this to be lighter. It's very generic. You always want base color because it gives you the right mood and the right setting for the artwork. Base color basically gives you the future insight of how the card is going to look. If you can make the base color correct, then the next process is so much easier. Next is the further refinement of the artwork. So obviously you can see more rendering here and here and here, not so much here or in the background, but it shows you that the main subject, hey, this is what the main subject's going to look like, and like the general posing and everything. But this is when you can start spotting mistakes, and from these mistakes you send the corrections. You then put it into a frame, and then you really see how would it look on the card. So here is a big issue, because that's a very unnatural looking hand there. It's, if you hold something, your thumb will never be in that position. So with these mistakes, you send kind of like a report back. So I would send something like this, but also I would sometimes send something like this, where I would draw on top to kind of show that the perspective is wrong, and then if you look at it in this angle, it looks a lot better and more natural. And then you get the update and the response of what you've done. And now look, the hand looks very natural, and the weapon is in a good position, and then the rendering is all finished, and then this would be turned into the card. So that is literally like how I direct and make things happen. But also remember, because the team have worked together and have that understanding of design together. It's kind of like a uniform brain, so it is a lot easier to do it. But if you were to do this with someone completely new, you would have to go very in detail and very in depth to, you know, make them understand, and then over time you could get to a more streamlined process such as this. But there are some very like awesome artworks that you guys won't see yet because they are just too cool to put onto cards right now, and I will have to share for another episode one day. But yeah, that's pretty much a lot of the work in terms of the direction, like all the different artists and stuff. And I can do some more like segments in the future, but that's pretty much the direction that we're going for today. Oh, I totally forgot where I'm going to let you guys know what I'm choosing for the Lions Defender. No, not Defender. Is it Defender? Hold on, let me check the thing. Lions Armored Warrior. Let me show you. So these are the three options: 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to give you guys 3 seconds to choose. 3, 2, 1. Which one do you think it is going to be? It's going to be number 1. This is the one we're choosing because the pose is the most stoic, shows the shield clearly, shows the weapon clearly. You can see that this is a warrior. This you can see, but it's also more of a scene. You have arrows coming down here, and this could be an order card. This, however, is way too dynamic. This is way too much action, which you would also then put into an order card. Whereas this is static enough that you can see the character as the main subject, and that is the primary focus. So that's how we do it. That's all fun, but it's not as fun as this. Just had a shower, but that's not important to this at all. I've got these tubes, and what we're going to be doing with these tubes is essentially putting some uncut sheets from the Alpha New World first release release yeah, so that first wave of booster packs I did this year, we had some uncut sheets and we're going to put it into here. Quick tip, try and make a set where it's easy to say, but then if you say alpha and then you say the set, and then if there's a number, it's just New World, but then you need differentiation, that's the word, differentiation in so people know in the future, but that's future stuff. Basically looks like this, and the reason why we need to put them there is because we're going to be delivering them personally to a very special community member. We need to begin. You know, I could have put them down nicely, but I didn't, and that was stupid of me. Let's find a nice spot for you guys to sit and kind of watch. Okay, there you go, that's better. We need to get the sheets. So here they are. There's only 23. There will only ever be 23 of these ever made, because that was the only run that we had there. And I need to figure out which way am I taking these out. Okay, this way, sideways. So let's do this one. Boom. 1, 2, and 3. As you can see, we have the sheet, and then we have the back. These are the uncut, meaning the cards were not cut off this sheet, which is awesome. It's pretty cool. But what we actually have to do with these is we have to sign them, serialize them, and then get them rolled up and put into the tubes, which is going to be fantastic. pen, that's what we need. Got the sheet. How I'm going to do it is the signing process always begins with the date. Be this. What number? It was 5, 6, 23. Yes, and then I put my signature on. And then you do the same thing on the back. Do that. And there you go. Signature's always a bit weird. I'm not a superstar. I am not famous. I've literally just made the game. Some people want me to sign stuff, some people don't care. It's a weird position to be in, and sign things for authentication, yes, but yeah, it's always weird. It's like, if you sign it, do you have an ego? Or if you don't sign it, do you not have an ego? It's like, whew, signatures are just a weird thing. For any collectors out there, these are the more sought after stuff. Also, for the people questioning if they were print lines on the cards, it's actually the holo pattern. There's like lines on the holo pattern. If you spoke to me a few years ago about, you know, making uncut sheets, or sort of knowing what an uncut sheet was, even as a TCG enjoyer, I wouldn't have even understood the whole concept, or understood the what's the word, attractiveness of wanting these things. But as I've been developing it over the years, people have been asking a lot about this, and I did a bit of research, and I mean, it's not hard to make because this is way earlier in on the production line, but the awesomeness of having one of these, it's like having a poster of trading cards, but more awesome than having just a poster of trading cards, if you understand what I mean. Of course it's awesome. It's like, it's literally just loads of cards stuck onto a sheet. I mean, like, it's one of the cooler things that you can actually make when making a trading card game, and when you have it on like a wall or something, it looks really nice. And when I found out, obviously I devised a little plan to get a few of these made, and now I'm hoping as we do this, we can make sure it doesn't get too damaged, and it should be alright, because once it's rolled, it should fit perfectly into this tube, if I've done my calculations correctly, which I have. As you see, it is a perfect fit. It's going in fabulously. There you go. See? And now it's protected. What number was that? I think that was 9. So we can put 9. There you go. That's the first one. 2 more. Another perfect roll. And there we have it. 3 long tubes, which are very important for this moment right here. Oh wait, hold on. Is it recording? Yes, it is recording. It's MJ.
Hello. Nice to see you.
What are we doing, MJ?
I am getting lots of cards and stuff, and uncut sheets.
Yes, that's what we're doing, and that's what we prepared for literally a few seconds ago. on camera. Okay, maybe this side would be better. Got this big bag. So much. All of this. Might as well give it all to MJ at this point. 4 binders. Look at all these binders. MJ's gonna have so many new cards, amazing things. Happy. MJ's decided to open that booster pack that he said he didn't, so I'm recording this for you guys to have a look at.
Come on, come on, come on.
Is there a shine?
Let's get it way down. Oh, I'm going to try to open it all the way. I feel dirty ripping it at the end.
Oh.
Kari.
Ronan.
And a simple sword.